Good morning, good morning, good morning. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you are breathing. Today is Tuesday, March 12th, 2024, and I would like to welcome you all to This is Just a Thought with Stephen Cornegay. Hey, before I go any further, hit that like and subscribe button along with that bell icon so you can get notified when I drop these podcasts. Hit that like button, and that subscribe along with that bell icon. Like I say all the time, there will be a lot of interesting topics we will discuss. And I would hate for you guys to miss out on that. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and that bell icon. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. All right, let's move along here, man. Hey, today's word of the day, uncouth, which means not polite or socially acceptable. Uncouth. I'm sure we all know a lot of folks like that in our travels through this thing we call life. There's a lot of uncouth folks out there. Just is. Man, the weather here in North Carolina. Wow. It is beautiful, folks. I tell you, it is beautiful. Highs in the 60s. Expected to be 70 by Thursday. I mean, the temperatures are just lovely during the day, 65, 66. And when you go outside, it is just lovely. You can just sit out there and relax all day long. Like I said, Thursday, they're saying temperatures are going to be in the 70s, maybe even a little bit over the 70s. Wow, man. Springtime? Well, not quite spring. I mean, spring is, I believe, actual date for spring is sometime next week, one day next week. But it looks like we've gotten a little early taste. But at night, hey, overnight temperatures go back down once that sun drops, and it is in the 30s. Some spots have even gotten into the 20s. I mean, along with this time, with the time springing forward this past weekend, Saturday or Sunday, oh man, these warm temperatures and these sunny days and these longer days makes you want the summer even more. Yeah, time went sprung forward this weekend. Wow. Um, I understand the argument because this has came up. They're speculating or questioning whether that we should do away with daylight saving time as a whole. Just be done with it. I don't know how you can do that. I thought that was just the way the Earth rotates. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to do some research. Someone get in the comment section and let me know. But apparently, those powers that be, somehow, some way, whoever they are saying they're going to do away with daylight saving times. They want to do away with daylight saving times. Makes everyone more productive. And of course, the millennials chimed in at one point in time and said, hey, with this springing forward and falling back, it's throwing my sleep off. I can't concentrate. Oh, man. I don't know. Um, I love the fall back, get an extra hour of sleep. I love the spring forward. We lose an hour, but the days are longer. I mean, maybe it's just me and my generation. Maybe we have adapted. Maybe these millennials maybe onto something. Maybe they are. I mean, hey, they're saying, hey, can't be productive with hours springing ahead and falling back all times. Hey, we just can't focus and concentrate. It's hard for us to focus and concentrate in school or on the job. Hmm. I didn't know it was that big a thing with daylight saving times. I know at one point in time, hey, if you are from the South, you know that daylight saving time, that was an agriculture thing at one point in time. More hours to work during the day, and then when it got cold in the winter, you called it early in the evening. So maybe these millennials are onto something. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Or maybe they're just whining like they always seem to do. They just do. They whine an awful lot. God. Us Gen Xers, we are a whole lot tougher than they are, I gotta say. Even though the millennials they've seen a lot in this short time since early 2000, I gotta admit, But at some point in time, I hope that makes them tougher and understand that things don't always go their way. You still have to continue on and move forward instead of trying to mess up someone's time and sleep and way of doing things. Maybe we are old fogies. Maybe these millennials are on to something. But yeah, they're talking about they're going to fix it so all year long there's going to be more light. We're going to get longer days and shorter nights. Or maybe they're going to reverse it. Who knows? I'm more or less inclined and in favor of the longer days. I love this time now. At 6 o'clock in the evening, it's still daylight out. And as it progresses in the summer, it usually doesn't get dark here in the south until about 8 something. And when I mean 8 something, I mean 8 something. It's well after 8 o'clock. And so I just love the spring forward. And I also, like I said, I also love the fall back. I love to get me some sleep, extra hour. Hey, when it gets cold, gets dark, there ain't no need for me to be out there. Give me that extra hour of sleep. But we'll see what happens with this. Apparently, they whoever it is, the powers that be, they have a handle on it, and they say it is quite feasible. Hmm. Okay, okay. But yeah, temperatures are looking lovely here in North Carolina. Many are saying, hey, this is an early spring. We're getting the early spring, and everyone should be. Well, I don't know if you guys have forgotten, or maybe you've gotten a bit loopy because of these warm temperatures and this newfound extra hour where it stays daylight a little longer. But this is the South, and we are due for at least at the bare minimum, one more freeze. We just are. So I wouldn't just start pulling out the old grill just yet in the shorts and tank tops just yet and the crop tops. I wouldn't pull them out just yet. If you know anything about the South, if you guys can really sit down and think and not lose yourself in what's happening with these warm temps and these longer days, we are due for another freeze. It's coming. I'll put money on it. Hasn't let me down yet in 50 years on this earth, and I don't think it's going to start now. I don't care how much those powers that be and these new age millennials gripe, piss, and moan. Can't stop nature. You just can't stop nature to an extent. Maybe there is a magic button that can be hit and everything can just flip upside down and change. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. All right, let's move along here, man. Hey, the NFL. Let's talk about some NFL. The trades. Man, there's been a lot of strange trades. A lot of trades I didn't see coming. A lot of free agents. And they're walking away from those teams. One in particular that kind of, I got to say, when I woke up this morning, I was floored. You could have slapped me across the face and I would have fell right over. It was a shocker. Looks like the Minnesota Vikings free agent, their free agent quarterback Kirk Cousins, he's gone. He's out of there. He left, and he's on his way to the Atlanta Falcons. Well, he has a 4-year deal, 180 mil. That's 45 mil a year, a season, with 1 million guaranteed. If you know Kirk Cousins, and you know his career, it started with the Washington Redskins. Excuse me, I'm sorry. They aren't the Washington Redskins anymore. They are the Washington Commanders. Started there, and then he left and went to Minnesota. He had some good seasons. Still couldn't pull off an NFC division title or even an NFL playoff. He couldn't get into playoffs. So now he's taking his talent to the Atlanta Falcons, who are in desperate need of a quarterback. I gotta say, their quarterback now, he ain't all of that. He ain't looking like nothing. So maybe Kirk Cousins could come on down to ATL and make it do what it do. Make the Falcons a winning team, a winning franchise again. Very reminiscent of the days of Michael Vick. So maybe he can come on down there. But he has 180 mil for 4 years with 45 million a season and 1 million guaranteed. He ain't hurting. He ain't a hurting in the least. Seems to be to me. This guy's going around the damn league just collecting the bag. He's getting paid. Minnesota dished out some money for him. The Washington Commanders dished out some money for him also. And he really didn't say, but I wonder if he's just like Russell Wilson, still getting paid by these teams. He ain't hurting. He's going around the league collecting the bag. Now, a lot of you young folks out there talk about getting the bag, getting the bag. You guys need to follow and take notes from old Kirk Cousins because he ain't getting the bag. He's grabbing it, every bag he can find. Also, Atlanta has picked up Darryl Mooney. You know Darryl Mooney, he plays for the Chicago Bears, or did play for the Chicago Bears. Pretty good receiver. Can't believe the Bears let him go. And again, I don't understand a lot of things the Chicago Bears organization does. So Darryl Mooney's down there. Kirk Cousins on his way. Atlanta already has a fairly decent. The other receiver, his name escapes me. He was one of those that was he was drafted about a year, well, maybe about 2 years now. He's about 2 years in the league. He was a premier college player. I can't think of this guy's name to save my life, but maybe Atlanta can do something. Doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I just do. And speaking of the Chicago Bears, the Bears have picked up Philadelphia Eagles running back DeAndre Swift. I think they got a little quarterback now. They picked him up for 24.5 mil. Well, I mean, hey, you got it. You got it. 24.5 mil. They're saying, hey, that's a pretty good price for a running back like Swift. DeAndre Swift, he's not a slouch. Maybe he can get there with the Bears and Justin Fields, because there's still no word on whether or not they're going to trade Justin Fields. And the Bears do have a top round draft pick, and many are speculating and saying, hey, they're going after Caleb Williams, the USC quarterback that's coming out. He's supposed to be a top tier quarterback as well. Um, for me personally, I say stick with Fields. He's battle tested. He's only been in the league a few years. I gather a lot of fans, or maybe even some of those in the Bears organization, were expecting to click their heels and blink their eyes, and they were going to be championship material or champions. Doesn't happen overnight like that, folks. I can honestly tell you, I like Justin Fields. Like I've always said, I think he's a damn good quarterback in the right situation, given the right tools around him. I think he can flourish. I just do. I don't see going to draft another quarterback, because that's what the Bears do every year. They draft these quarterbacks and then they get them and they founder or flop or whatever or what have you. And then they're right back to the drawing board once more again. Stop it. Stop it. Use what you got. There's nothing wrong with Justin Fields. You just got to get the right thing around him, right people around him, the right tools. Starting with that damn offensive line. Hope they're working on that offensive line in the offseason. Still haven't heard anything about that. I've heard they're showing up the defense. And they've got some good corners back in there because they weren't getting burned in that defensive secondary. So they got some corners in there. And now with the addition of Swift on offense at the running back position, they're trying to show up that running back position also. And of course, quite possibly, if they decide to use that number one pick instead of trading down and going to get another receiver like Marvin Harrison's son, Jr., that's where my eyes would be. How can I get him to complement Justin Fields? Seems obvious to me. Just does. There was a rumor that were saying, hey, if the Bears let Justin Fields go, then he quite possibly could end up in Pittsburgh for the Steelers with Mike Tomlin. That guy hasn't had a losing season since he started as head coach. But that may have just been just what it was, a rumor. And it ain't going to happen. Why, you ask? Because the Pittsburgh Steelers have picked up Russell Wilson. You heard me right. I told you guys last week the Denver Broncos let him go. And he wasn't doing that, wasn't doing too tough with the Denver Broncos. So old Mike Tomlin came calling. And Russell Wilson answered the phone call. So he's in Pittsburgh now. Uh-oh. Like I said, Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing season since he started, and he has gone to some championship games with some quarterbacks that weren't that tough. They weren't top tier, and he's won some games. Hasn't had a losing season. So Russell Wilson may be just where he need to be. He may just flourish. Like I said last week, he just didn't look too comfortable in Denver. I mean, he just didn't. Um, then again, who knows? Maybe he is washed up. Certainly had heard that debate after what happened with in Seattle. You know, he won a championship with Seattle, and then after that championship, they just looked horrible. Was it Russell Wilson? Was it the coaching? Or was it that he just ran out of steam? Hmm. Time will tell. We'll see what he will do with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, like I said, he was a free agent. They got him at the bare league minimum, which is 100 million, 100.21 million dollars. And but the Broncos, he ain't hurting either. This is another one that has got the bag. He ain't hurting either because the Broncos still got to pay out the rest of their contract with him, which is about 39 mil and then some. So he ain't hurting, baby Bubba. He ain't hurting. And that money from the Broncos, that's guaranteed. He ain't hurting. He ain't a hurting. He ain't a hurting. Wow. Russell Wilson with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Maybe the Steelers can return to that playoff contention and Super Bowl contenders, if not champs. We'll see. Maybe the Bears will do it this year. We'll see. We'll see. Um, Still no word on whether former Tennessee Titans great running back Derrick Henry. Still no word on where he'll end up. Man, if he's out there, wow, oh wow. I know he's been banged up and injured a few years, a couple years. Why I said in the past few years he's been banged up and injured, but that's Derrick Henry. That's Derrick Henry. That's a man boy among men. Boy, somebody need to snatch him up quick. Don't think it'll be the Bears, though. They've already got DeAndre Swift. Boy, that would have been nice. That would have been nice. And also in kind of odd, but not odd, if you follow football and you know this certain organization, you know what they're used to doing as far as their running backs goes, because it's looked like the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, just may be releasing running back Tony Pollard. Y'all got it like that? Them boys who every single year their fan base, their coaching staff, hell, even the owner, Jerry Jones, says it all. We've all heard it before. We them boys. This year is our year. We are Super Bowl bound, baby. Y'all got it like that? Y'all just gonna release Tony Pollard? I know the guy's been banged up, but damn. You threw Elliott out. It looks like a year or so later, after you got rid of Ezekiel Elliott, excuse me, you're gonna do the same to Tony Pollard. He's been banged up, but I thought he was still a pretty good running back. And like I said earlier, if you follow the Dallas Cowboys organization, you know they don't hesitate to get rid of a quarterback now. They will throw you. They won't just throw you up under the bus. They'll push you off a damn cliff. Cowboys, I tell you, out of all those NFL teams, no matter how hard or how good those running backs are, if they can't produce anymore, out you go with no hesitation. Mm, 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 mm. And these are just early trades and early free agent signings. So wow, what else? What else can happen? I mean, really, and those are just a few. A lot of interesting moves and trades and speculations are being said. A lot of moves and trades are being made. I just didn't see. I just didn't see that Kirk Cousins thing. Kirk Cousins are coming. Maybe the Falcons could turn it around. right along with them boys. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I gotta love the NFL. You gotta love the NFL. All right, let's go get it. Man, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Wow. If you've been following the news as of last week, especially with Haiti, you know what has happened. You know, the gang leaders and the gangs, they rioted and went to a prison, and they freed over 4,000 Haitian prisoners, released them on the streets, started a little mini, somewhat semblance of a civil war right on the hills of, I told you guys, Ghana, African nation was sending some military police over there to help with policing efforts to get the gangs under control. Maybe the gangs realize, oh, they coming. All right, well, we'll go we'll go break out our homies, and that's what they've done, and it has spurred a civil war and extreme unrest. It Wow. Why, what in the world is going on in Haiti? It's in dire needs. It's gotten drastic. It's completely and utterly just it's out of control. There's no control, there's no law and order, none whatsoever. Now, here's a very interesting thing. What happened was a news agency somehow, some way, got a hold of one of the gang leaders and convinced them. Really wasn't hard to convince because I believe they've already said this particular gang leader convinced him to give an interview to which he said, "Hey, we will stop and we will cease and desist if the current appointed prime minister resigns, steps down, along with all those members of his cabinet, and we are allowed to hold a democratic election, and we elect a new president, new prime minister, a new cabinet, yada yada yada, rah rah rah, shish boom bah, that is elected by the people." Because if you know anything about the argument with these Haitian gangs, is that the government is so corrupt they can't get ahead. They're constantly being stepped on and spat on and just mistreated. That is the reason why they're doing what they do, and they need for those old political figures to go. They need some young blood in there. Well, looks like it has happened. Haitian Prime Minister um, Henry, I guess that's how you say it. Haiti is, of course, they speak French. Henry, however you say it, he has resigned. He has stepped down. Hmm. Somehow, some way, either last night or the wee hours of the morning, Haitian Prime Minister has resigned under international urging, also because the U.S. and the international community said, hey, in order to get some calm, peace, and stability down there, you got to go. Well, you just need to step down, step aside. So he did. And along with the urging of the gang leaders also. Wow. So I guess that interview worked. And I guess the footage that's been going around on the news feed and social media, I guess that worked also because it got the U.S. involved, and the U.S. said, "Hey, wait a minute, y'all doing way too much down there. There's way too much going on. Um, too many innocent people are being hurt," and they were. They were. I gather now that the gangs have gotten some semblance of what they want. They will hopefully have some law and order there. Maybe, maybe not. But you released 4,000 prisoners. 4,000 prisoners you released, and now all of a sudden, what are you going to tell them? Hey, calm down, go back to prison? I think not. I just think not. Um, what is to come of Haiti? Really, all of that violence down there. What is to become of Haiti? I mean, can they really get some law and order and stability down there? So, with this new interim president that is coming. Maybe they're saying they're getting ready to quite possibly can appoint a new transitional president and council and also a prime minister, and they're going to hold an election sometime soon. So they're hoping to turn things around. At least they're optimistic. Best thing I can say. Now, with all of that that was going on with that violence down there, the U.S., of course, they urged no traveling to Haiti. They urged, well, they flat out said, hey, those U.S. citizens that are in Haiti at the embassy and the embassy personnel and the embassy personnel and the diplomats, we're going to come down and get you. We're going to send some military forces down and we're going to come and get you. This is not the first time this has happened. Um, It's not the first time this has happened in Haiti to the point of this where the U.S. has to pull out, has to close the embassy and pull out. Happened back in 1994. If you listen to This Is Just a Thought, I told you I was in the United States Navy back in July of 1994, and we were involved in Haitian ops. And this was the time where there was so much civil unrest, so much very reminiscent, mirror actually to what is going on now. The folks there weren't happy with the political process. The president that was in power, they said he was corrupt. So it's been a lot of corruption going on in Haiti for a while. He was corrupt. Those that were in his cabinet were corrupt. So there were a lot of fighting. I believe they broke some prisoners out of jail then also. So this is not new. This has been going on in Haiti for a while. So the folks were leaving Haiti. They were running. They were coming across the Atlantic Ocean, bypassing Cuba, trying to make their way to the tip of Florida, Miami, on makeshift rafts, whatever they could put together. And of course, the United States Navy and the Coast Guard had to go rescue. Strange thing is, they didn't allow them into the country. They sent them back to Cuba and kept them in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. So here's my question. And this is really where I'm going with all of this. With what's going on in Haiti, the civil unrest, the civil war, the freeing of the prisoners, the corrupt politicians, the government's, let's be honest with each other, that government's going to crack. There is no government, interim or permanent or whatever, however you want to say it. There's no government. The president, when there was a president, because this guy here is an interim prime minister. When there was a president, he was assassinated by those members in his own party. We now know, and his wife has been implicated. She's been arrested, shot head to toe with a long gun, a rifle, executed. Was killed. He was executed. With all of that going on in Haiti, let's shift our attention to the border crisis here in the United States. Because you guys also need to remember and think back about a year or so when there was this thing where they had out that so many thousands upon thousands of migrants were getting ready to flood the United States border down in Texas. They were saying, hey, there's folks coming from South America, Colombia, wherever you could name, Mexico, Ecuador, El Salvador, and they also discovered, in addition to also they're saying there were some those from the Middle East and Asia, they found some Haitians were trying to come across the border also. So here we go again. They're fleeing political persecution. They are. If you know the history, like I've said before, if you know the history between the United States and Haiti, it ain't too pleasing. The United States really doesn't favor too well as it relates to accepting Haitian immigrants. They go by the book, long short. Yeah, I said it. They go by the book. But for those others from South America, they are given a free pass. They are allowed in. So, and now with all that is going on in that border and all that is going on in Haiti and all that is going on in South America, is the United States government, are they going to allow those from the Caribbean island of Haiti to enter the United States like they do those from South America? I don't think so. We know that ain't going to happen. Not Uncle Sam. The Haitian immigrants and political prisoners aren't going to be allowed to just enter the United States and wander aimlessly about. They just are, unlike those from South America. Yeah, I said it. I'll put money on it. I will. I've seen it before. I assisted in the process back in 1994. You can say, well, it's 2024. It's about, what, 20 some odd years or 30 years ago. Times have changed. We're more welcoming and warming. No, no, you ain't. No, no, no. You're going to shut that damn border, and you aren't going to let those Haitian immigrants and political prisoners through. You've done it before. You've done it numerous times. It wasn't just in 1994. A few years, maybe about 5 or 10 years later, the same thing happened again. Like I said, this isn't the third. This is not new to Haiti with its political, social unrest and violence. 94, I was in it. 5 or 10 years later, it came back down the pipe again, and 5 or 10 years after that, and now we're here once again. The United States government is not going to allow those Haitian immigrants and political prisoners into the country like that. This is what the United States did back in 1994, and every year, or every 5 or 10 years, however this arises in Haiti. They allow a certain amount. They put a cap on how many Haitians can come into this country. Yes, they do. And that's whether a Democrat or Republican is in office. Because back in 1994, when I participated in the Haitian Ops, guess who was president? President Billy Boy Clinton. And he put a cap. So don't feed me the crap about it's the Republicans. It's Republican or Democrat. The U.S. doesn't have a favorable opinion or outlook or care for Haitians. They never have, and they never will. So, if you're saying that's a stretch, we are a better country. We've came a long way. We are welcoming. We know, understand, and we can welcome any and everyone into our board across our borders. Watch how this Haitian thing goes. Now, another thing that has came up in comparison, folks aren't eating down there in Haiti. They're being starved. They can't get food, water, shelter. Kids are starving. Same thing is happening overseas in the Gaza Strip. A week or so ago, 2 weeks ago now, I guess, if I can recollect, there was some humanitarian aid being dropped off on that Gaza Strip. And somehow, some way, gunfire erupted, to which the Israel said, hey, they were approaching our military tanks, our military weaponry. They were told to step back, get back, and we opened fire. Just warning shots in the air. But I believe some Palestinians were killed or injured. They're saying that some may have been trampled. So you have a humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip. The U.S. government has came out and said, hey, we will assist with sending food and aid there. We're going to do it. They aren't going to drop it because that is what was going on at that time that it was being airdropped. So what the U.S. has done is came up with, we will make barges that we will allow to float in because Gaza is on the coast and they can unload from there. So you got a humanitarian crisis in Gaza, and now you have a humanitarian crisis in Haiti also. The international community is watching. United States. Haiti is in your hemisphere. So it stands to reason or stands that say there will be a question you can't handle or you choose not to help in your own hemisphere, but you'll go all the way across the pond and help those others that are in need. Facing this pretty much the same thing. Well, I can't say the same thing. That was a little different. That was totally different. But it's a humanitarian crisis. The women, children, men, elderly aren't eating, can't eat, can't get food in, can't leave the house to go to the stores when stores are bombed. Can't leave their houses in Haiti if they're fortunate enough to have houses. Can't leave the houses to go shopping because the gangs have taken over all of the stores. So this is a humanitarian crisis. Yeah, humanitarian crisis again. So, U.S., what are you going to do? Now, President Biden kind of sidetracking and sidetracking with the Gaza and Israel thing. President Biden came out, after the debate, before the State of the Union, excuse me, last week. And after the State of the Union, he came out and he said he was strongly urging Israel Prime Minister or President I'm not going to butcher that guy's name. Strongly urge him to stop with the violence. And to which the prime minister or president responded of Israel responded and said, "No way, no how. We'll stop when they are eradicated." In other words, we'll stop when they are either killed or they are disbanded. We aren't stopping anything. We were attacked first, and they were. They were. So they have every right to defend themselves as they see fit. And it appears, yeah, the U.S. is an ally of Israel, but it appears Israel ain't taking nothing under advisement, and they do receive aid from the United States also. So Israel has said, no way, no how, we're not doing it. We ain't stopping nothing. They started it, we're going to finish it. Got a humanitarian crisis all over the world. Humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. We've forgotten about old Ukraine. I believe they said the Pentagon has came out and said they're going to give however many billion in military aid and assistance to the Ukraine, even though they have admitted, the Pentagon has admitted, they don't have enough funding to supply the U.S. military. How foolish is that? Guess when you make these deals and plans and allies and agreements and strongholds and handshakes with certain personnel, certain countries, you have to stand and deliver no matter what, even if you shortchange your own country and military. Leave your own military vulnerable. Got a humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip, to which Israel said, no way, no how, we ain't stopping nothing. We ain't backing down, not one bit. Now you have a humanitarian crisis right here in the Western Hemisphere from a country that is the poorest in the Western Hemisphere that is experiencing a continual stream of civil unrest and violence and economic turmoil. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens with this. This is very interesting. Boy, there's a lot going on in this country, in this world. I'm sorry, in this world. It seems like in north, south, east, west, there's something. There's so much unrest and violence and chaos and calamity. Everyone's in desperate need and desperate help. Wow. Can the U.S. continue to aid everyone? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not as optimistic as some of you out there. I just don't see it. Sooner or later, you are leaving yourself open and vulnerable. Then what are you going to do? Those allies, those countries and nations and worlds that you have helped, can they help you the same way? I think not. Like I told you guys before, as it relates to these wars, especially with Ukraine, it takes decades or centuries for you to rebuild and get your economy back up, your political force, your military force. It takes years to rebuild, restructure, and get yourself back up on your feet. I just don't see, heavens forbid, something goes awry here in the United States and we need that aid and that comfort. I don't think we're going to get it. Like I asked, can the U.S. continue to aid everyone? Jump in everybody's fight and plight. Historically, they've done it. But the history now, I can't even call it. I just can't. There's so much going on the four corners of this earth. Who knows, hell, who knows what we're going to wake up to tomorrow morning or what we're going to lay down to tonight? No one knows. No one knows. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go and skedaddle. dope. Get in that comment section as always. Hey, let me know what you think about what is going on. Hey, with the NFL, all these trades. Oh, Russell Wilson ended up in Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin. And old Kirk Cousins leaves the Bike Queens and goes down to the ATL. Mm. See what happens with that. Old Kirk Cousins appears to me, he's going around the league collecting the bags. He ain't getting the bag, he's getting the bags. Wow. Hey, and also, hey, how do you feel about what's going on in Haiti? Is it the U.S. problem? Is it the U.S. responsibility? Should the U.S. continue to do what they have done for so many years, which is stay out of it, ignore it, help when they can, send whatever aid they can down there. Whenever there's a a natural disaster like an earthquake, they send aid down there. Continue to send missionaries from this country down there and just let the Haitians figure it out on their own. That is what the U.S. has done. Uh, no one can argue that with me. Like I said, I participated in it. I know what they do. I just do. I just do. So get in that comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Is it something that the U.S. should just stay out of? Allow Haiti to get its own self together. And will there be a fair election in Haiti? Will the people finally get those personnel in place that they want, in place that aren't corrupt? Time will tell with that. Time will tell with that. Going to get out of here. I'm going to go and skedaddle. And as always, thank you for listening. Hit that like, share, the bell icon. Continue to support any way you can. Hey, get in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Or if you see me in passing, let me know. Whether yeah or nay, like always, I won't bite. I'm pretty thick skinned. I am pretty thick skinned. Ain't too much of nothing you can say to me that I haven't already heard. And as always, thank you for watching. This is Just a Thought with Stephen Cornegay. Amen.